Momentum is building for Nigeria's constitutional renewal as a newly inaugurated 24-member coordinating committee begins preparations for the upcoming national political summit, envisioned as a catalyst for democratic reforms and the development of an inclusive people-driven constitution. At the forefront of this national effort is Chief Emeka Anyaoku, former Commonwealth Secretary General and chair of the Patriots, a coalition of respected Nigerian statesmen and thought leaders. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony in Lagos, Anyaoku reiterated the urgent need for a constitution that genuinely reflects the aspirations of Nigerians. He cited the limitations of the 1999 constitution in addressing insecurity, inequality, and governance failures.
To fine-tune and finalize summit agenda and program, to identify and mobilize support, partnership, and solidarity towards the successful hosting of the summit, to work out and determine inclusive pan-Nigerian participation at the national summit, to avoid any form of marginalization, to facilitate interface and engagement state actors, government, and the private sector towards the hosting of the summit and implementation of the summit resolutions.
Leading the coordinating committee are Otumba Gbenga Daniel, former governor of Ogun State, and Right Honorable Senator Aminu Tambuwal, former Speaker of the House of Representatives. Both co-chairmen pledged to promote political literacy, accountability, and reforms aimed at strengthening democratic institutions and enhancing Nigeria's anti-corruption framework.
That we as a country must build a transparent, credible, and independent electoral system where votes really count. Judicial independence have also become quite key, because when everything fails, the citizenry must have absolute confidence that they can get justice within our judicial system. The issue of devolution of powers, or what some people call true federalism, have become a very, very common source of discussion everywhere nationally. And we are hoping we'll be able to put some rest and some closure to this issue.
The resolutions arrived at when we held the Chief Ben Nwabueze colloquium, and where it was agreed that this effort be initiated and be canvassed for the common good of the Nigerian people. I commend you, Mr. Chairman, for remaining steadfast and for all of your efforts aimed at improving Nigeria and the livelihood of Nigerians and promoting particularly constitutional democracy and good governance, not only in Nigeria but on the African continent.
The committee comprises a diverse and distinguished group of Nigerians, including former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, Alhaji Boni Aruna, Professor Pat Utomi, Dr. Tokumbo Awolowo, former deputy governor of Plateau State, Dame Pauline Talon, former deputy governor of Nasarawa State, Labaran Marco, Senator Ben Obi, Senator Sheun Sani, veteran activist Olawale Okuniyi, Professor Anthony Kila, Alhaji Shetima Yerima, and Barrister Folarin Rotimi Williams, among others. The committee is tasked with facilitating national consultations, harmonizing input from political and civil society sectors, and guiding the development of a reform-oriented constitutional proposal. Speakers at the event emphasized the importance of inclusivity, particularly the roles of women and youth in shaping Nigeria's future. They called for a constitution that not only upholds democratic ideals but also delivers tangible governance outcomes. Labaran Marco echoed this sentiment, underscoring the need for a federal structure that empowers citizens and addresses long-standing disparities.
The position of women and youths cannot be ignored if we're talking of the future of the Nigerian state. If we're talking about the constitutional democracy of this country, we know the critical role women play and the youths.
A proper constitution that allows power sharing, that allows the resource mobilization and resource usage from bottom up, that allows the recruitment of good leaders constitutionally, that allows free and fair election, that allows, for example, the mobilization of talent, the youth that Madam Talent spoke, will give this nation an accelerated development. I believe that what the chairman is doing and all of us needs the entire support of Nigerians.
The challenge of an enduring democracy on the one hand and an effective governance on the other remains one of structure. And we cannot resolve the crisis of structure without addressing the question of a living constitution.
This is the time we must have a new constitution, and not just having a constitution for the letters, but a constitution that will work, a constitution that people will obey, a constitution that will entrench democracy and make sure that everybody enjoys the rule of law and good governance.
I have no doubt that we are headed for success because Mr. Chairman, Chief Anyaoku, anything he touches succeeds. There is no failure in his DNA. I know that for a fact.
The national security that serves in real terms as the foundation for a sustainable constitution is relevant and it must be discussed, because you can come up with the best constitution and it can be cleaned away in terms of operations. The example of Ethiopia is there.
It is very clear what we're trying to do, but it is worthy of reiterating that what we're trying to do is moving towards a patriotic, intellectual, and visionary framework for Nigeria.
The group reaffirmed its commitment to the actualization of a constitutional democracy that serves all Nigerians. It further assured the public that a central objective of the summit is to produce a comprehensive legislative reform bill which will be formally presented to the federal government, establishing a clear pathway towards a new, just and inclusive constitutional framework. Mariam Oke, Laudable TV.